have this true reach-in cooler. They said that it's not the temp. So this says it's 13 below. This is a cooler. It's supposed to be 36 degrees. So this says it's 13 below. This controller does heating or cooling. Only the cooling is set up. It's not calling for cooling. But the fan's running. Compressor's running. So the fact that that says it's 13 below and it's running, the thermostat is just failed. Closed. So it's just foot on the gas. So it's just gonna keep on running until the evaporator freezes inside, and then it's just not gonna cool. These are, I purchased them on Amazon. They're like $16 as opposed to $60 or $70 HVAC refrigeration controllers, and I have very little failure with these. Like, I know we're here saying that it failed, but this has been in place for 2 years. So these things do me very well. Let's get into it. Okay, so panel came off. I've taken some pictures. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just wire for wire everything into this, and then we'll replace them. The possibility also exists that the actual temperature probe is bad, and that's why I'm getting the 16 below. But if that were the case, the unit still wouldn't be freezing. So I'm actually not gonna open up the unit and check the probe. I'm gonna hook up the new controller with all of the existing setup, and I believe it will work properly then. If we do that and it still gives me a stupid low temperature, then we'll have to chase back the probe and replace it. But the intelligence is in here, not the probe. We're gonna go with the easy and most statistically solvent solution first. So wire for wire, one at a time, and we'll get her in place. So, powered back on, we're reading 15 degrees. This sensor, this temperature sensor, is in the coil. It is not in the cabinet. I'm gonna actually go to a quieter place and I'll explain the science of that. I'm gonna leave, right now the evaporator fans are running. So our fans are running, but it's a ball of ice behind there. I'm gonna leave these doors off. I'm gonna take this, that's temperature setting, right? 50, beautiful. I'm gonna leave it at 50. And so until that's above 50, it's not gonna cool. Remember last time it said negative 16, but also this was running. So these are not running now. If we wanna test it, just that I've got it wired up properly, let's do that. Temperature setting, we were at 15, right? So if we shut this down to 8, set it, green fires up. So I know the thermostat works properly. Temperature setting. And what is above freezing? Like I said, I'm gonna go out of the kitchen so I can explain that better. So she just shut off. This fans are gonna keep spinning. It's gonna melt the ice in there. Once I can confirm we're good and clear, holding temp, then I'll know we're done. I am gonna hang this back up, put the electronics to bed, because I'm all in that solves the problem. Okay, so you can see we're climbing. As we pull the warm air into the evaporator, it melts the ice, and this is gonna go up. So obviously at 32, the ice started to become liquid. So I'm gonna let this run all the way up to about 40 or 42 degrees, and then I'm gonna adjust the set point and the differential, and I'll show you how we do that. Then we'll put the drawers back in, and we'll watch to see that it cools down and satisfies. All right, let me go over the settings of this. So as we hold this down, temperature setting, right? Okay, this is set for 20. On coolers, generally speaking, your sensor isn't an air temperature sensor. It is a coil temperature sensor. So the compressor's running, the coil's getting colder and colder and colder and colder. And we've just played with the numbers to find out that when the coil is about 20, the box is about 33. And so that's what we want. So we're gonna set that. Now, at 20, it's going to freeze, right? So when the coil freezes, it doesn't pass air, and then, you know, it freezes up and then starts a nasty cycle. So it's going to shut off at 20. Now, the DS is the differential. That's where it's going to kick on. So at 20, let's keep it simple. In 10, now we were coming on at 30. Nope. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So at 38, it's going to kick on, and it did. So now it's going to pull down until the coil's frozen again. Then, as the coil, which is 20, has 33-degree air passing through it, it's going to raise the temperature of the coil till the coil is 32. Right? Once the coil's 32, the box is 34, it's going to keep going and they're going to leapfrog, right? And it's going to go higher and higher until the room temperature and the coil temperature both hit 38, which means it's been 6 degrees above 32, and the coil will be defrosted just because of that time. So coolers generally don't need a defrost. They defrost when they satisfy, which is why if they leave the door open, it's going to just let hot air in, let hot air in. It never satisfies. The coil never gets to be 20 degrees, and it just runs itself to a solid block of ice and bad things. So we are cooling. We're just going to wait, make sure the box cools down to temp and satisfies, and then we're out.